Hey guys, hope you're having a great Monday. There has been all sorts of news swirling about where exactly this virus that causes COVID-19 originated. And one of the reasons for that is that the Secretary of State came out this weekend with a very strong statement, his strongest statement to date, in an interview, saying that there's more and more evidence that is pointing to the virus emerging from a laboratory in Wuhan, China. Now, I know you've heard a lot of different theories about where perhaps this virus came from. But here's why it matters. The one thing you should know about coronaviruses in general, whether it's about SARS or MERS or SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19, is that no one knows the precise way that that virus is getting transferred to humans. There's a lot of data, a lot of research, and plenty of theories. But there's not one single fact that everyone is standing on to know exactly how it happens. And the World Health Organization talked a little bit about this today in their press conference about why it matters finding out how the virus transmits to humans.
Let me start with the public health importance of really understanding where this SARS-CoV-2 virus, the virus that causes COVID-19, comes from. What's really important is for us to understand the zoonotic source, what we call the animal source. This is a coronavirus, and coronaviruses circulate in bats. And so there's an ancestral link to bats, and that is something that we know based on the genetic sequences of this virus and other coronaviruses that circulate globally. So we know that bats are an ancestral link. What we really need to understand is the intermediate host, the animal that was infected by bats and that infected people in some of these in the earliest cases. And that's a very important piece to understand from a public health perspective so that we can prevent that from happening again.
So think about this for a moment. You know when there's like a big E. coli or salmonella outbreak, and the CDC makes a big announcement. They say, this is the type of food that we believe is carrying this illness. This is where it was sold, when it was sold, and where it came from. They're able to hyper-target the exact origin of the outbreak. I think in my mind, I thought that's what would happen for a virus like this, a pandemic like this. And what you should know is that that's never actually happened for any coronavirus. And so there's a big question about whether or not we're going to be able to do that for SARS-CoV-2. This is why, if indeed it did originate, the outbreak, in a Wuhan laboratory, it would give us a head start to a process that is already very challenging. So keep that in mind. A lot more news to come. We'll be watching for that, but I hope this is helpful. Questions and comments, let me know. And as always, more on smarternews.com.